Go.
Wear mask. Welcome to 2021. Uh, there's a new president. All that.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all?
What's up, man? What's up, everybody? Community
It's
Coalition.
good.
Yeah, back in this thing, man. Still in January for now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Gang, gang.
gang. Yep, K Wilson David 2K. We in here trying to
Mm-hmm.
keep going. This is episode 88. I got to keep writing them down. I'm remembering, though.
Yep.
Things is merging. Your man is, I don't know. Like,
Bro, honestly, whenever we pod, like that's the only reason I know the days of the week
yeah,
anymore.
get to that point, and just get to the point because we're damn near about to pod every day of the week.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's a lot going on.
I actually kind of like that we're doing it later.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm here for it too. So, it's all good.
Yeah. We had to move it back, which I'm kind of liking too because it's less scramble.
Yeah.
Especially some days when like I'm not trying to hurry but get home,
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. So I think this is gonna work. I think it's cool, and everyone else thought it was a good idea too, which I was happy about. So
Yeah, I'm happy about that too.
yeah. So we in this thing, y'all.
What's
Don't forget,
good?
this podcast, Community College Show, is sponsored, powered by. I said powered by. Goodness.
Sponsored by, powered by, loved by,
Created by, and all that jazz. Black Squirrel Media Network, y'all.
gang, gang. That's
Um,
good.
check out the Black Squirrel Media Network, and all of our different podcasts and YouTube channels and all those things. And
Yep.
this one, and even I know starting next week, we got the new Black on Film podcast coming out, man.
Yep.
And that's
I'm very excited about that.
that's gonna be exciting. There's a lot going on with that podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We got
Already.
Yep. So, y'all, if you're listening, if you're watching this, you'll be hearing more. You'll be seeing more about that podcast, especially launching next week, February 1st.
Yep.
So check that out. You see me up in my commercial game.
Yeah.
Get ready.
Look at the intro. Look at the range. The range.
That was off the dome. I'm telling
Yep.
you, we're getting better at this, y'all.
And also, look at us matching. The gray on gray.
What did that happen? Like, see,
I don't even know.
we're not even around each other. We on Zoom.
Yeah.
I know we syncing up. Oh.
Oh, shouts to Chance. Actually, this is the Chance hitting.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask.
Experiment.
Yeah, you are the merch dude, man. I give you credit for that.
I think I just like merch. Like I like going to shows and like getting the merch.
Yeah,
that's just me. But I actually had to order this.
Yeah, I mean, hey, yeah. you support, man. Big up. You support your peoples and things you like.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's up. I probably need to start doing more of that.
I mean, it's like the least I could do.
Yeah.
I always feel like it's like, oh, I paid to go to the show. Yeah, you paid to go to the show. And then, well, I'm not speaking for me, but like for other people, it's like, yeah, you pay to go to the show and then you stand there.
Yeah.
Don't just stand there. You paid to go to the show. Wild out.
Enjoy yourself. Yeah.
Enjoy yourself. Exactly.
Like venues and stuff, like concerts and stuff. That's one of my things too. Like, I mean, not even just like concerts and music, but like parties in general.
Yeah.
Remember back in the day in the parties, and people go to party, you just stand there. Like, what do you call like wallflowers or something? Like people just stand there. Like I'm not that guy. Like you might not be the one jumping around basketball doing backflips and everything, but at least enjoy yourself. If you want to vibe. If you want to move at least 2-step in your area, like do something.
Like honestly, like I've heard this from Timothy De La Ghetto. It's like I'm the guy at the punch bowl making everybody laugh. That's definitely me.
Yeah.
Even though I haven't been to a party in a very long time, like I'd be that guy.
Yeah,
I feel.
Yeah. One day we gonna get back out there though.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Gotta have this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here for it, but I'm not because I'm gonna sound like a hater. I know I'm gonna.
Right. I was about to say, you look like you don't even want to have this conversation, and this was your idea.
I mean, it was my idea. But since last week, I've been like reality's kind of setting in. So
Hmm.
again, we went through a whole election. We just went over
We
the
have.
inauguration, which I'm not gonna lie, like it was cool. It was good to see. Um,
Hmm.
but then for
Did
me,
you watch all of it?
yeah, for the most part, I think I caught just about all of it, especially from the morning when the orange guy bounced, got up out of there, and that was just weird. I thought it was so weird. I knew it was gonna be weird. I thought it was gonna be more drama, but it was
Mhm.
weird. Like I like ain't making little innuendos and comments and stuff. I'm like, leave, man. If you don't hop up on this elevator, get on this plane, man, get up out of here. Like, but in the inauguration itself, like it's a ceremony. It just seems like America, you know, I guess to go from Donald Trump, you
Hmm.
know, where everything just seemed ratchet and chaotic and just wrong, man.
Yeah.
Um, to look, I guess, kind of like what presidential look like and the level of like class and stuff, like all that.
Right.
And I'm not saying that like that's all hunky dory and perfect because it's not.
Right.
I guess the word like it looked dignified. I guess conducted in a
Do you remember when it went from Bush to Obama?
yes, I do.
I think it's kind of like that.
That's my thing. Yeah, and like so I guess
That's
the
like
whole
honestly, that's kind of how I feel about it.
yeah the whole aura of being presidential and not just talking
Mm-hmm.
about Biden, but just like the whole process, the aura and all that stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
like, and I'm gonna get into this in a minute. I'm not gonna jump the gun real quick, but I just um that kind of thing. Like the one thing Trump just annoyed me was this. It was just so. It just felt so white trashish and trailer parkish and dirty.
That's funny.
I'm not even talking about before you get to the policies and politics. Just
Mm-hmm.
it seems so just everything was just sloppy and messy. He was like he was like that dude that you embarrassed that you know what I'm saying? You know him, but the people like man, like hell no, like nah, man, he good.
Yeah, I know that guy. Sometimes I have been that guy, and let me tell you why. Because I've done very embarrassing things right before I've met people, and it was very awkward for my friend group. So
Yeah,
it just set the vibe to be very weird. But
but it's like America.
after that passed, everything was good.
Yeah, but see the thing between you and him though, you care.
I mean, a little bit, but not.
I try to save you. I try to save
No, but okay, okay. Let me say, let me say it like this. Like, if I embarrass myself in public, like if I were to like trip and fall over, and there were a bunch of people around, I'm just gonna laugh to myself and
you.
get
Yeah,
back up.
yeah,
And it's because I'm probably never gonna see all these people again. So, like, why would I feel embarrassed
yeah,
when it's with friends I know? That's when I'll get embarrassed.
yeah. And then they clown you. Sometimes you got to play that off too.
Exactly.
But I mean, but you know what I'm saying? Like the last 4 years, it just seemed like it just one thing after another. These scandals is just like
Every
we've
single week.
we're tired of it. I think so. I think it was so much fatigue and so much just on that end is just
Hmm.
that was just like everybody had a chance to breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
And it felt good.
Yeah, it does. Also, we don't have to wake up in the morning saying, "Oh, how's the world ending this week?"
Yeah, not yet. We'll see. Um, but
Yeah, that's true.
my thing is, I mean, it's all cool and everything, and then like I said, for me, probably about the end of the week, reality started to set in,
Hmm.
and I started to think again, like we black.
Yeah, the chocolate skin don't go away.
Wait, like, do we now just think everything was going to be, flowers and candies and we're just frolicking around and stuff like it's going to be kumbaya? Um,
I think it's more of a sense of like we were struggling to survive, or sorry, we're just trying to survive to the point to where maybe we could just relax a little bit, but also like I feel like in the next coming weeks, someone's just gonna remind us, oh yeah, we're black.
well, and that was part of my thought process. That was part of my thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so I wanted to bring up the conversation, and I had to say that, like, for my black community, for my black people, like,
Mm-hmm.
let's be careful. Let's keep an eye on how things are about to go.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we still black, and we still black in America, and
Mm-hmm.
technically for us, nothing has changed. And I
Right.
say that because I'm going to share my thoughts. Just this is just me, my thoughts. You
Go
know,
ahead.
um,
Safe space.
safe space. And if not, you listening or watching, oh well.
You
Um,
don't have. You don't have. You don't have to.
but I'm gonna say some stuff that might be it's stuff you probably already know.
Right.
But so I went back to it, and my whole thing is, I'm glad this transition happened. It needed to happen with the
Mm-hmm.
president, right? We needed that. But at the end of the day, no policies, nothing has really changed for the black community, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have some leadership. There's some leaders that are coming up in cabinet positions, things like that, which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
It shows at least a good look in the right direction, right, for us.
Right. It
Um,
shows progress.
but here's my thing. I've never wanted to be tied down to a particular political party, right?
Mm. Okay.
Because at the end of the day, and even going back to like Obama stuff, that was a good thing for us. We saw that happened for people. We kind of needed those boosts.
Yeah.
But if you go back to the root of our political structure,
Mm-hmm.
the systems still weren't designed for us.
Absolutely.
The country wasn't designed for us in mind. And if you think about it, we've had some little baby steps, but we all know a lot of work still needs to be done.
Absolutely.
So until we get some more significant progress, I'm talking about like, and I know this is going to seem like a lot. People going to think it's probably, oh, you're asking for a lot, but no, I'm not. I want our government to openly acknowledge, openly push policies and pass policies and change policies that are going to reduce some of the things that are currently happening to black people. For example,
Mm-hmm.
why can't we get a policy right now that holds police officers accountable for shooting unarmed black people, people in general, shoot unarmed people? Why can't we get
Right.
policies that enforce that and like, I mean, majorly enforce that? Not just a slap on the wrist. Like, now we talking criminal charges. We talking people
Not a
losing
paid
jobs, stuff
vacation.
like that. Like, no, we need to have some real harsh penalties,
Mm-hmm.
for these things. That might be a step in the right direction. How about
I agree.
we've gone on the show, we've talked about like the housing, the redlining, the banking system, all these things.
Mm-hmm.
There are policies that can be put in place to help us out. How about
Yeah.
acknowledge, let's start shortening this gap. I just want the government to acknowledge that there's a lot that can be done and let's start doing those things. Until I see those things happen,
Mm-hmm.
what do we really have too much to be excited about?
Yeah.
Another
I
black dude
feel you.
got out here today, tonight, tomorrow. What has really changed for us then? So that's kind of where I'm at. And like I said, I know, like it's hard because like we're celebrating.
Mm-hmm.
We're celebrating, but we're celebrating the political structure that still wasn't for us.
Right.
So it's like at the end of the day, we're still kind of like we're outsiders. We're still at the bottom of the totem pole in a lot of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which sounds hard and doesn't seem like it now. It doesn't appear to be that way right now.
Right.
Um, and we hope the administration change may do some of these things.
Mm-hmm.
But as of right now, we still black in America.
Yeah.
So I don't want to burst anyone's bubble,
Right.
but we got to have this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
That was my whole point. I feel like we just need to have this conversation. Remember
Mm-hmm.
what's been going on. You know,
Right.
what were we protesting for last year? What did we
Right.
get out here? What are we trying to change this stuff? Now we have a fresh start. And I mean, I'm not gonna say fresh start. We've had leadership change in the system, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there are things that can be. There are things that can be done. That was my whole thing. Like,
Yeah.
and it seems so far. Let's see what happens. But like, I think there's some real things. I know there's a lot going on in the world. I know we're still in the middle of a pandemic,
Yep.
which needs to be addressed. I know there's a lot of financial things that need to be addressed. There's some other things in world globally, and I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But you can still pass some of these things along. We've seen some of the other stuff being passed.
Yep.
You know?
We do.
So that's just where I was,
Yeah.
and there that really got to me thinking like, man, I just want to encourage everyone to do their research about like when this country was founded, what was really
Mm-hmm.
going on,
Right.
and all the stuff that we were told in school about the founding fathers and being about equal and all this stuff, equality and
Mm-hmm.
no, no,
Yeah,
no,
that's true. But also, like, what I want to say is, like, I just want to stay positive. Like, I'm doing my best to stay positive about it. And honestly, like, even if it's just an inch, we're still moving forward.
yeah, yeah,
So I'll take what I can get, and I will celebrate what I can, because it could all be gone tomorrow.
yeah. Which is
So just keep just keep moving forward. Cuddy said it best.
yeah. And that's the thing. I didn't want to sound like a hater or a downer, but because
No, it's no. I totally understand what you're saying, because, like, even though, like, yes, Biden is now in power. Yes, now Kamala is vice president, but that's them. We are still here. Like, there's still systems in place to where, uh, like, if I wanted to go to the bank tomorrow and get a bank loan for a business, I get denied. Why? Because there are systems in place to the point to where they look at me. I can be in a 3-piece suit, and they'll say, "What? You want to start a business?" Nah.
yeah,
Like, it's just stuff like that.
yeah, all the little systems that were in place have been in place. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like, and I hate to say this too, as much as like I loved Obama. I still love Obama. I love him as a person. I thought he was a great role model. I thought he was a good president.
Me too.
But the thing is that's why to me so much like I don't get caught up in the people.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're doing the best they can, but the systems, the deeply rooted systems that go back to the creation of this country
Mm-hmm.
are still in place. So until someone goes back to we have to go back and attack the roots of the system.
Right.
That's going to be the fight. It's the policy, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said until I see somebody do that, then I might get on board. Like, all right, they really trying to make it happen. Like,
Yeah.
but I mean, think about our history, and I think I was almost like black people have trauma with this stuff.
Oh, I think
You know,
absolutely.
so it's
That's
like,
absolutely true.
yeah, so it's like we see these things, and it's like we go back to our trauma. We go back to no one not giving a damn about this, and
Right.
we're not a part of this system. We're not a part of
We
this country.
we literally go back to our own coping mechanisms.
Yeah, yeah, and just the trauma of like I said, not being considered a part of this country.
Mm-hmm.
And look where we have been the last couple of weeks. Look where we have been the last 4 years with
Right.
sheer amount of deep rooted racism, the open
Right.
racism.
Mm-hmm.
We don't forget there's still a lot of people who do not want to see us even become equal.
Right.
And we're starting to see, and that's what I mean. If we ever looked at the last 4 years, I mean, every racist it seemed like crawled up from under a rock, um,
Mm-hmm.
and they were empowered and emboldened to be racist.
Mm-hmm.
So A lot of them will probably start to crawl back up under that rock, because their leadership and their mouthpiece is fading off.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I don't really think he's going too far, to be honest. He gonna find a way to be heard at this point. It's too much power, it's too much money in it at this point.
Right. But also, very much hope not. I I very much like that every single online platform has blocked him. Like even the ones that don't give people voices, like Spot Spotify, or
Yeah,
like.
you know, openly, it's not like an well, kind of sort of, but that's why I said too. I said let's be careful.
Mm-hmm,
Let's see what the money do for it.
mm-hmm.
Because I tell you right now, conservative media, and that's another topic I want to have. Oh my goodness, I want to have. I started infiltrating that stuff. Oh, that's crazy. I want to start because my thing is like, okay,
Did
what
you catfish?
kind of sort of right?
I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad.
I had
I just wanted to ask.
to infiltrate, right? So I've been
Right.
kind of digging into that because
Mm-hmm,
again, my thing is I want to know what's going on.
mm-hmm,
And one thing is, you learn what's going on, you I start to see why people totally believe what they believe because they're getting fed a whole bunch of different set of news and media.
mm-hmm.
So with that being said, I don't think my man is going far because there's going to be way too much money in conservative media for him. He's going to get a
Okay.
platform somewhere. They're going to give him a platform,
Yeah.
and they're going to throw a bag at him to do it. And again, when you still get that many votes and people still believe in you like that,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think they're going to find a way. And my thing is, let's see when the bag comes. Let's see if those same platforms don't sell out for the dollar.
Mm.
What happens when you throw a bag at them? And Twitter's like, yeah, that bag. Maybe we'll let them back in. Let's see. That's why I'm not
You're not convinced.
there yet to commit and openly celebrate this stuff yet because we know
Right.
what happens behind closed doors. We know what happens when money starts getting thrown around and they find a way to spin it and make it sound good. And next thing you know, my man is back tweeting again.
Mm-hmm. Like Deadshot said, y'all know how y'all white people do.
You know how y'all white people do. Are they ever really enemies to each other at the end of the day? I don't think so.
Nah.
Like especially them evil crooked ones, they all friends.
Yeah.
Like we'll see. It wouldn't surprise me. The game like a little, hey, go away for a couple months. Let this die down, and then we're gonna come back, and we're gonna have some structure to it, and you'll come out with a podcast, and we're gonna give you 150 million. Like, wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise.
It wouldn't surprise me. I'd just be like, oh, okay, so this was the whole plan.
That was the plan the whole time, and that's how it be laid out. So it wouldn't surprise me there was already a plan in motion at this point. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so all that, like that's what I'm saying, like all that stuff. Again, I just, I think about us as a people, as a community. And my thing is, I would just want to say, keep pushing,
Yeah.
keep pushing. I really feel like we continue protesting.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not let them forget. Let's not. We built some momentum. Let's keep it going. So this administration change. Don't feel like everything is all good right now because it's not.
Absolutely.
Continue the fights. Continue whatever that fight is, whatever our parts are, because I feel like there's multiple avenues and how we can go about this and how we can protest and we're boycotting certain things, we're bringing awareness to certain things. Whatever we are doing it, let's keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Like I hate to say it like this, but like let's not let our guard down. Like let's keep it up. Let's keep it up. Like that's to me how we got to stay focused on some of these things. Let's not wait and see what happens. Let's not depend on, oh, Joe's our guy. He seemed cool. Like no, let's go to him and say, nah, we this we working. We need this happen. What you gonna do now?
Mm-hmm.
At the head of the table, what you gonna do?
Right.
So we'll see.
Keep your foot on the neck.
Yeah, let's keep it on the neck. Because again, them structures, man, it's amazing when you start looking back and start dabbling. Like I didn't get a chance to dig too much because I've heard a lot of history and stuff before.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about Black people, in some other people's eyes, are still considered property.
Yeah.
Like,
Unfortunately.
let's talk about that. Like, that's why you think they mad.
Like 3/4 of a person?
It's
Like,
property. Like, and that's just like everything. Like, I ain't gonna get on school right now. Like, oh man, the stuff we were told in school. That's a that's a whole another conversation itself. The things we
hmm
were told about slavery, things we were
yeah.
told about, like the Civil War, the Revolution.
hmm
Like when it came to us,
Yeah. Oh, speaking of school, we need to have a podcast about unlearning things that we need to,
yeah,
unlearning things from school uh, that were wrong, pretty
yeah, that's what I'm
much.
saying. Like either, especially talking about like history,
Yeah.
they were either wrong, they blatantly lied to us on a lot of stuff,
hmm
or they just casually forgot to mention certain things.
Right.
All this it's
Like no one, like I didn't learn in school that the government was convicted for killing MLK Jr.
admitted to it. Yeah,
Like they didn't tell us that in school. I didn't learn that in school.
it came out later on. Was pretty much was like, "Hey, my bad. Yeah, my bad."
Hold on, I'm bad.
That's how it was. That's how it was. It wasn't.
My
It
bad.
wasn't
My
making.
bad. My bad.
But that's how they spin this stuff, man.
You killed a revolutionary and you said my bad.
I mean,
Like,
that's how they roll. Are we surprised? That's how they get down. That's what
yeah, it is.
it's sad. It's horrible for us, but like, are we really surprised by anything they do?
Yeah.
Like the stuff they were, like you said, the stuff they were going on, they had roles to play in a lot of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They had a part to play in these things.
Mm-hmm.
And then like our government is like it's nasty.
It is.
Nasty.
It is.
But it's globally nasty. It ain't even just here they nasty. Why do you think you think the Middle East hates us?
Yeah.
It's not because they don't know us, because there's a reason.
Mm-hmm.
We go into secretly fund wars and we play games with them and then we leave them high and dry and these people, like there's a reason.
Right.
We nasty, dirty, sloppy, messy. We don't care about nobody but ourselves.
Right.
But a lot that goes on with America.
Mm-hmm.
Its history is ugly.
Yeah. They help us when they help us with war, and then like and then it's like, oh hey, by the way, since we helped you, can we get like a little something?
It ain't even can we get. It's
I
like
mean, thank you, but
America be like, no,
stay over there.
run that right now. That's how America goes. Run that. If they say that at all, they just gonna take it and bounce.
Right.
Like, so do you think surprising when it comes to the black people? Like, we know some things that they did. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, take any instance. We know FBI was spying Martin Luther King. They were plotting. Malcolm X, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They infiltrated Black Panthers. Like these things, like we know they were doing.
Right.
Why? To continually cause disruption, to make sure that we don't unify, to keep us down. At the end of the day, we're seen as threat. Why is black like groups on terrorist lists, and you can't get these guys who stormed the Capitol? You can't even get. You don't even want to convict half of them.
Right.
You didn't get me started on that because even though the black dude, even though he shouldn't have been there, he's on trial. He's going to stay in jail.
Yeah.
But the white dude is getting organic meals in that joint.
Mm-hmm.
None of this is surprising. And this is stuff I know most of us, we already know. But that's why I continue to say we got to keep the fight no matter. Like I said, the office, like I said, it's a revolving door. We know that. Every 4 or 8 years,
Mm-hmm.
you get a new whole administration.
Right.
All that's going to revolve. That's going to keep going. That's all part of the game. But the system stays the same.
Yep.
That's why we got to go to the system. Go after the system. Like
We got to dismantle it.
yeah, like we got to start chipping. That's what I'm saying. Chip at that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look how crazy it was. Trump and his army of cronies and citizens. They understood that. That's what they were trying to do.
Yep.
We said we're gonna go straight to the Capitol, bully them up. We're gonna rough them up a little bit, delay this vote, get this vote changed.
Mm-hmm.
Trump was doing all types of nasty stuff, trying to put people in place and fire people. put
Yeah.
budgets in place. Like, why? They go after the system. They try to disrupt it. He try to make it work for him.
Yeah.
Like, nasty as it was, I mean, then we go back to look how the country was founded.
Yeah.
On the similar nastiness.
Absolutely. They took people like there were so many native. They wiped out like 90% of the Native American nation
Yeah,
just so that they could say, "Oh yeah, we discovered this place."
off the bully, and that's another thing.
Oh, oh, y'all are here? Yeah,
No,
not anymore.
right, right. But then again, that's why they always say history goes to the person who the victor, pretty much, to tell the story.
Hmm.
It's crazy. Like it's stuff I've been like, because I love history. I love history. So every time I see this stuff in school, it just makes me laugh. I'm like, this is a joke. Like,
Absolutely.
I encourage anyone, go pull up a textbook and just read a couple pages of a history textbook.
If you're not too traumatized by school.
Yeah, just like, because especially as an adult,
Absolutely.
if you've learned a little bit more, if you pay attention to some of this stuff, go back and just look at some of the things in the history textbook, especially talking about U.S. history.
Yeah.
How they make this stuff sound so good. Some of the stuff they just left to omit,
Hmm.
like most people don't know. Like they said, George Washington was the first president. No, he wasn't. There was like 10 dudes before him through their transitional governments and things like that. Like he was
Hmm.
the first guy. But what do we celebrate? Stuff like that. Like I mean, just talking about those types of things, and then go back to Black history.
Hmm.
Go back to Black history, and it's just go back to the real roots of like the abolishment of slavery. And everyone thinks
Right.
that Lincoln wanted to free the slaves. No, he didn't. He really didn't. It really wasn't about slavery. Like
Yeah.
it came down to really financials.
Yeah. People think that like slavery is no more. Nah, slavery is still happening.
Yeah,
Look at prisons.
let's just say as soon as they abolished it, they were like, hold on, wait, we're gonna find a way to keep getting this dough down here.
Hmm.
You think because gave that up, we're not gonna get money down here? We still got these plantations that need to be worked. We still got money to get down here. So we just gonna create another system to continue to figure out how we're gonna get this money. That's all
Right.
it was. Like, there you go, prison system, things like that started to come up.
Hmm.
Walk down the street, do something wrong, lock you up, go back in jail. Now we're gonna work the jail, and you pretty much in the plantation in jail. You working
Right.
back to the same. Like, so I'm like, this country was founded on all this nastiness, this ugliness, and the roots of that stuff hasn't really changed.
It hasn't.
We make one step, and then they find a way to kind of get us on the other side.
Hmm.
You try to get a crib? Nah, we about to zone this area off. We about to let y'all stay over there. That's what you gonna get. You gonna like it. You know?
And that, oh man, I shouldn't. Okay, I need to. I was gonna say, yeah, I need to save that for another podcast, maybe. All right. No, I gotta say it.
But
I
say,
think that I think that's why that's the reason that I'm such an. Why don't people want the minimum wage raised?
okay, that's it's
Because I feel like that's just me at the top saying, "Oh, you want these crumbs?" And then I just throw them away instead of giving them to someone that's hungry.
sometimes, yeah. These think about that's the root of greed. Like you look at some of these, especially like it's not even small business. Everyone says, "Oh, it hurts small business," things like that. I look at my local grocery store.
Hmm.
I go to the grocery store. What do I see now? Way more self checkout lines. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's technology." When I'm like, you just took away how many jobs?
Hmm.
Sometimes when you raise the rate up, people say, "Oh, we're not gonna pay it. We just gonna find a way to get around it." So if the rate goes up, and let's say you got 5 employees, everybody making 15 now. Oh, we don't want to pay you that increase. We'll figure out another way. Maybe pay 2 of y'all. 3 of y'all got to go. So it's like they're finding ways to keep. They're gonna keep that money. The greed is gonna stay the greed.
Hmm.
The greedy gonna stay at the top. You think they gonna give up money? No, no. And that's the sad part.
Yeah.
That's the sad part. We got companies out here making billions of dollars, and literally an increase to the employees would be nothing to them. They're still fighting. They're still pushing back on it though.
Mm-hmm.
I said I worry about the places that there's like smaller business restaurants, especially now and stuff where they already struggling to pay the people they have.
Mm-hmm.
That increase, even though it's beneficial for them, the business might not be prepared to handle it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
again, it may come down to what like how bad do you want to operate this business? Am I going to take care of the people who are working in this joint, or am I going to take some off what I'm making as an owner? You know, but no, they don't want to take off what they making. That's the problem. Greed, greed, man. Like if
It's ugly.
it is, it's ugly. Money is ugly. When you got company. What did Amazon gross last quarter? Something ridiculous. Like
Something in the
thinking of billion.
nine digit
Yeah, yeah, ridiculous.
9 digit like revenue.
Yeah, and they and think about. I mean, if you break down numbers, some places easily can do it. Easily, no problem. Wouldn't hurt nobody.
Right.
Places may not. But again, I saw something the other day say, think about what was minimum wage used to be like. It's like 5.75 or something like that.
From what I remember, where I was, it started at like 8.75
8.75. So it's 1 hour.
per hour. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I know here a gallon of milk is almost $4 here.
So there goes half your there goes
It's half
half
your hour. That's like a half hour worth of work just to get a gallon of milk. Let's talk about rent.
mm-hmm.
Talk about living. How do we expect people to live if you can't even pay them? But that's part of the problem. People don't care about that.
Right. But you still want me to come to work.
I come to work a bus.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't even cover
when I can't pay for gas to put into my car that I have to make the payment for.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I have to pay for insurance and maintenance for the car.
Yeah.
So you want me to come to work today?
Man.
Are you going to pay this pay? Are you going to pay for my gas? Are you going to pay for my car note?
That's the thing. And they don't care. I saw this one thing, man, when I remember I got one of my first jobs. I was like 17 years old, man.
Mm-hmm.
I was working in I'm not going to say the name of the company. People know the company. But I was a 17-year-old kid, and I was working with a bunch of adults.
Mm-hmm.
And, man, I listened to these adults. I'm talking about people in their 20s and their 30s, older.
Mm-hmm.
And I listened to them, how they struggle. Like, and as an 18-year-old kid, I'm like, what y'all, like, is that bad out here? And they would tell me. I remember one day, I think it was like the first couple of weeks we got our checks.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a time where they would still give you your paycheck, like no direct deposit or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So Friday come, because we got paid weekly. Again, I'm 17 years old, so for me, I'm like, I'm all right. I remember I watched this dude, man, one of my homies.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in his early 30s. And I remember he got his check, he opened it up, and we would always look at our checks. And I remember because I watched he bust his ass when he worked. And he looked at the check and he was like, damn, man, this don't even cover my car insurance.
Dang.
I watched this dude work 80 plus hours. He would come to work every day. He would bust his head. He wouldn't bother nobody, wouldn't say nothing. He trying to work. And they didn't even cover his car insurance.
Dang.
What about rent? What are you doing? Like, and that's why, sometimes it frustrates people talk about like, oh, go get a job. That job don't even cover you to live.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about, most of the country is still living paycheck to paycheck. Like, you barely get ahead. What happens if something happens to you? Like, it's ugly out here, man.
Yeah, it is.
And that's why, everybody wants to paint a picture and make it seem like it's cool and straight out here. It's not for most of the people. Majority of people out here is not. So let's just start being honest about it. And that's why I've been adamant about this stuff. That's why I keep talking about systems. So I'm like, this is what we live in.
Mm-hmm.
Until we start changing a lot of these things, like I said, if you take one step, let's keep making another, keep making another. But also, I just want people to acknowledge it. I want people to let people know. Like, that's another thing that bothers me. And again, I know I'm asking for a lot, but I don't care. But like, you make a little change, and
You
it
know
might.
what's sad? You're not asking for a lot.
Oh, I'm
You're
not.
asking for people to admit to
Yeah,
something,
I want our
to
government.
acknowledge something.
I want our government to say, no, we are openly trying to help out the black community, and these are the steps we are doing, and we're gonna do them. And that's not gonna happen. I know it's not gonna happen.
Probably not in our lifetime.
Outside of a campaign speech. But now we in office. That's what I'm saying. We in office now. Biden, Harris, what we doing? And I'm optimistic, but until I see it, you're not gonna see me doing cartwheels and backflips.
Right.
So those are the like that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with it. And again, I'm like, that's why I just stay on the next, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen too much of this stuff. I watched people a lot older than me still struggle.
Mm-hmm.
I watch people, like trying to actually make moves and come up, but the system prevents them from coming up. You know, like
Right.
I think about like I ain't gonna jail in itself. I ain't gonna talk about the jail system. That's a whole other podcast. But like that system is designed to directly keep people down. Like you think about a guy comes out of jail. Technically, he's supposed to have paid his debt to society, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why does he have to continue to jump through hoops? What is parole about? Why can't he get a job? But these are the things you expect people to do. If a man, let's say he spends 10 years in jail,
Mm-hmm.
when he comes out of jail, his debt should be paid, right?
Right.
He spent his time. So why does he have to continue to jump through hoops? Why? Because they want to keep him down. They want him to come back.
Right.
That's what it's about. They want him to come back. When you leave out of that building that day, that should be it. You're good. You're clean. You should be able to do what you need to do.
Absolutely.
Continue to hold these things over our heads. You know, like by design. By design, y'all. Education is another thing. I look at the education system and I'm really starting to question it, especially talking about college.
Me, me too.
So I'm gonna get a college degree. On average, how much is a college degree worth now? How much you got to pay?
60, 70.
60, 70,000.
Well, I mean, if I'm being honest, like probably more,
Yeah,
but
depending on where. But let's go with 60.
okay.
Go with 60. So I got to pay $60,000. One, I have zero problem getting a student loan when I'm 18 years old, 19 years old. I can get a student loan. Can't get
Right, because they prey on people. They prey on college students.
First thing. So I can get loans as much as I want. Get loans out the ass to go to school, right? I come out, what's the average income in this country? Is it 40,000?
If that.
If 40,000, right? School costs 60. Sally Mae and them want their bread. They don't play. So, but I'm only making, let's say 35. But they want their bread. Or with interest. With interest on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta continue to pay these people for how many years? They say, I don't know. It's almost like the length of a house loan. It takes sometimes people 10, 15, 20, 30 years. If they even pay them off at all, if they finish.
Mm-hmm.
For a job that I'm going to struggle to get. My job is not guaranteed after I graduate.
Right.
Like these systems in place, you know, why because again, why are we paying so much for these things? What's the value in these things? You look at most average CEOs, most average entrepreneurs, most of them didn't even graduate college.
Yeah.
So we're working for people. No, I don't like that. No.
It's not a good look.
No, yeah, it's not a good look. Not the optics. all these things in place. So it's like, how are you supposed to ever get ahead if you end up
They
under
don't want us to get ahead.
no? And that's why the track: go to school, get a job, work till you retire. I'm gonna work till I'm like 65.
No, it's not even like nowadays, especially. It's not even work till you're 65. It's
That,
more work till you die.
and then what they say, I heard somewhere again. I could be wrong about this, but I've heard the average retirement payment is like $1,500 a month. So I'm gonna bust my ass till I'm like 65 plus for $1,500 a month. Now I'm good. I gotta find another way.
Yeah.
That's just me. I don't know. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm tripping. But like when you start looking at these numbers, stuff don't add up like that to me. That doesn't sound like something a life that you want to live. It sounds like a life you're surviving. You're scratching and clawing. When
Hmm.
when do we live, y'all? When do black people live? When do we dream? When do we pursue these dreams? Why can't we have dreams like everybody else? I refuse this stuff. No, no, man. And then I make one mistake and I'm in jail for 10 years. And one little hiccup. No, no, no.
That may not even be your fault.
May not be my fault. You know. So
But the way the prison system works, it's built to keep you there,
yeah,
not to. Yeah, that's another conversation that we need to have
you need to have that.
because jail jail isn't there to rehabilitate you.
Jail is business.
Yeah.
It's business. That's what it literally was designed for.
Hmm.
Prison system. That's why they used the prison system to pretty much work, and it was contracts to go back with the plantations to work the plantations. So the guys in jail went back. That's why it's funny you've seen these representations in our movies and stuff.
Hmm.
Go back to like what I remember. I always watched Life of Eddie Murphy and Martin.
Yeah, I actually just saw that on
If I
TV.
watch the movie, I'm like, no one's talking about why they back on the plantation. Really, when they in jail, like
Why they're chained?
why they changed. But like that was what it was. Like so they just translated the stuff over jail in itself. Yeah, like nothing about jail is rehabilitation.
Right.
Maybe,
Which it should be
but
if
then
you.
also look at the things we put people in jail for. Oh man, how much weed you have on you? Had a couple little bags. Oh man, go to jail. People are still getting jail for weed in 2021.
And there are people out here making bags off weed.
Bags off this stuff. Like how you tell somebody, hey man, the reason why we locked you up, put you in jail for, we out here making money off it legally now. But you gotta stay in jail though. You still gotta do your time. But we out here getting money off of it though.
It's not right.
When you get out there, when you get out, you might be able to do this legally now. That's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know. It's just like some things, and then some things we do need to like. There are some people out here like need rehabilitation. They need that stuff. They need that help. But like, there's a lot of petty stuff in there, man.
There is.
So I don't know. That's a whole other conversation. All right, I said my piece, y'all. I'm done. It had to be said. Like, we got Bob's and Karens.
Yeah, we got a couple Karens.
Yeah, we got.
Uh,
I've seen some of the videos.
oh, I didn't send you. I'm not sure if I sent you any of them of the ones I saw.
Mm.
So let's start with Karen that was arrested for possession because
What she do?
she was so there's a video going around about there's this girl, she is all we know right now is that she's put into the back of a police car and she's handcuffed.
Okay.
And I'm talking about what's on the video. And then she's like, "Where you got? Why am I here? What am I doing? Why'd you guys put me here? I was adjusting my." And
Oh,
this was her words, coochie lips.
yeah, yeah. We got one.
And I'm sorry, this video was hilarious to me because like I've never heard someone say coochie
Yeah,
lips.
yeah.
But like what she, she was trying to harbor. She was harboring drugs, pretty
So
much.
after she
And
said that, I turned the video off. I was like, I can't do this no more. So did they actually find the bag on her?
after like the video goes on for like maybe another minute with her arguing back and forth with the officer, and the video cuts.
So did it ever check?
We don't know right now.
Okay.
That's it's wild.
Stuff gets weird. Like, check, calm down. Like, pretty, yeah, yeah, okay. Upset. I'm not even gonna go into that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next, let's talk about. Did you see the Karen that tried to um, accuse the woman that lived above her about banging on her walls?
That's vaguely. I don't remember. I heard something about it though.
Yeah. So, and she tried to like accuse her son, or tried to like victimize her son of doing something, and first of all, how do you bang on someone's wall when you live above them?
Hold on. Pause. Okay. She lived. They live below her.
No, they live above her.
They live above her. So
She's complaining about her walls being banged on.
from above.
Yes,
What?
which was exactly her.
Like, look, made my head hurt. Um. First of all, like again, that's apartment life too.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who lives in an apartment, especially if you've been in the hood, like there's some certain things you just gotta deal with. It's frustrating. Your neighbors party sometimes, they get to dancing.
Right,
You know, it's the whole Geico commercial where they party clog hopping and stuff, and they
right.
go ham. Like sometimes you get that.
Did you say prog rock?
Clog hopping where they sitting there, they just clanging. Like they just
Oh, okay. I thought
commercial,
I saw that.
dancing
I've
with the
seen that
neighbors
commercial.
above us. But if you ever lived in that environment before,
Mm-hmm.
it's part of the territory. Yes, you don't like it. Yes, sometimes you gotta like get the broomstick and like, but there's kind of nothing you can do.
Yeah.
The places aren't built well enough to kind of avoid that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's one thing he's got to deal with. I mean, I used to live in an apartment. My neighbors would party. They would party like Friday night, Saturday night. Like
Mm-hmm.
they would go in, and the whole building. Or sometimes not even just that. Sometimes your neighbors get to cooking. Depending on what they're cooking, the smell is strong. It's just
Right.
it's part of apartment life to me. Kind of like it's
Mm-hmm.
not right, but that's what happens when you put people in close proximity,
Mm-hmm.
not everything they should have to kind of drown some of these things out.
Right. Walls are apartment walls are thin.
Apartment walls are thin. I was at my man townhouse the other day. Townhouse walls are thin.
Mm-hmm.
Dude next door was blasting a movie. He had a little. You could tell he had a sound bar thumping.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, oh, he playing Avengers. All right, like we in the townhouse.
You can even tell the
That's how bad it was thumping. I'm
yeah.
like Thor. Like like that's how bad it was. So I'm like, this is proximity, y'all. Like
Mm-hmm.
so I'm like, if you go through all that, like, and I know it's easy to say this move, but like, I think sometimes there's a way to communicate. There's a way to have a conversation. Sometimes,
Right.
well, sometimes people, if you go, if you have you gone to them, and hey, say, hey, you know, I'm trying. Things going on. It's a
I'm
lot.
trying to sleep, bro.
Yeah. I don't know craziness, but going to people's kids and stuff. That'd be the first way to get you beat.
You know the way I actually described it? I said I said the Karen was accusing the woman of banging on her walls, which she doesn't even have access to.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
how does that work? You send it down the pipes or something? Like, how does that work?
And it rocks down the pipe.
I don't know how that works. People just crazy. And then, like, what did she tell? She called the cops or something? Like, what was her method of snitching?
I don't even know.
Yeah, I mean,
Explain to me how I live above you and I'm banging on your walls.
that's why.
First and foremost, I need because first of all, you have very long hands or limbs or whatever, because you should probably be. I don't even know what to.
Nah, all I know, most of the time, it's always people like if my neighbors above me. Let's say I live in an apartment, my neighbors above me were wilding out.
Mm-hmm,
I would hear that
mm-hmm.
banging from below. No, no. Okay, I give up. Some people, I don't know. I got nothing.
Yeah,
Airbnb,
the like my head hurts right now.
yeah. Like I just wonder who took that report and was like, "What? Okay, man, go home. Like, go home. Like,
Go home before you get hurt.
yeah, that's another thing. I said you start going to. You said she like she was accusing the kid or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's how you get your ass.
she started trying to bring her son into it,
That's how you get.
and
Especially when they black. Don't mess with no black woman, son. They gonna beat your ass.
man, I don't even have kids, but you're
I
speaking on
remember.
my child.
And look, I remember we when like in the neighborhood we grew up in. We lived in townhouses, and I remember
Mm-hmm.
our house was on one end, and it was a white family on the other end. They were clearly racist. And one day, me and the kid got into it, and the mom came out and grabbed my sister. Mind you, my sister's probably like 12, 13, 14, something like that. We like young teenagers. I witnessed my
Yo,
mom beat the brakes off this woman.
mm,
I'm telling you, when I tell you beat the brakes off this woman, beat her damn near out her clothes, y'all.
jeez.
The cop showed up and was like, "Yeah, you grabbed her. You had your comeuppance." Pretty much like,
Man,
what you expect that's gonna happen to you, fam?
like like what I see in my mind right now is just
I remember as a kid because I was younger and I just witnessed watching this white lady get beat down at the bottom of the hill. Like I never seen my mom jumped a fence. I never seen my mom jump a fence before. I never seen my mom run that fast before. I didn't know my mom had hands like that. Like I saw a lot that day.
I'm gonna say one word and everyone is going to understand what I'm saying right now. World star.
Well, yeah, if we had World Star back in the day, this would have been definitely a World Star video.
Man,
I remember clearly. I ain't never seen somebody get beat out their clothes like that before.
man.
Like like how you get beat out of a tee and it didn't rip. Like,
Science.
yeah, like that's what I'm saying. So I
I
saw
mean, my fist hitting you and you're out your clothes.
if you like
Science.
like it's all done. Your tee is like laying there next to the grass next to you. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's what I say. Please, y'all, if y'all don't know nothing else, don't mess with black people's kids.
You
Don't.
know what? You know what the moral of the story is? Don't be stupid.
I mean, yeah, like that's the root. Like, just don't be stupid. Just chill out. And if they are banging on your walls, impossibly, it might be time to see a doctor. That may not be the walls. That may be the voices inside your head trying to get out.
Schizophrenia is real.
Yeah, it is. It is real. It is real.
And get some help. There are people out there for you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a real thing. So, like, mental health is real, man. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. You got any more? I think that's all we got.
That's all I got.
Yeah. Look, y'all. That's all we got today. We about to
Yep.
but don't forget, like again, Community Coalition Show, check us out. We say this all the
Mm-hmm.
time, communitycoalition.com. Check us out on the YouTube channel. You know where to find
Check
us.
us out on Spotify. Check us out on all the streaming platforms.
Yeah, check us out on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the black.
Because we be getting into it, and like even though we're defending each other, we would love to see other people defend us.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
Yeah,
it would be nice.
it would be nice, especially especially because we be jumping for other people too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we do.
yeah. Because social media is yeah.
Social media is. I mean, first of all, social media isn't real. That's one thing that we need to. I'm going to keep repeating that because
because it's and I feel like especially in these times where people can't react, they can't
no. Let me
interact.
let me say something real quick. You can talk all the shit you want on social media. The minute I pull up on you, it's on site.
Yeah, yeah. It's not even like it's not even
Like
talk.
remember those days where like, oh, I'm not even sure if you were in school at this time, but I remember the days of, oh, I remember all that shit you were talking online. So
Oh,
what's up?
we was
Like,
on that. We was on that.
man,
Yeah,
that era.
online. What was you texting? What was you saying in the background of the phone call? I heard you running your mouth. All that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then let me pull up on you on second period.
Yep. Yep. What was you? Oh man, those days. But not even the social media. Like shit talking is just like people trying to be whoever they want.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and but the problem is, I really feel like some people are like really starting to believe that image they created. They're starting to like act like they think that's reality. It's
It's
just not
not.
social media ugly.
It's not.
And I don't care how many platforms you create in a news platform,
Mm-hmm.
it's the same stuff, y'all.
Yep.
It is.
Like you remember when Richard Spencer got punched, just like he just got like faded in public,
Yeah.
and like during that was funny.
Yeah. It's been a couple. That's why I always said that's a if you want to make a reality show, that's the reality show you need to make.
Yo, I've had that idea.
Let people
Like,
run up on people that was talking shit online. And you
no, not even that. Just like, well, I mean, yes, that, but like just white supremacists getting caught up in public.
yeah, all that. There's people getting ran up on.
Yeah.
People getting ran up on. That's what it is. Like
Ooh, we need to create a show called Run That.
run that. I'll tell you that. Like we get sued every week.
And yo, bro. Okay, so first of all, trademark. This is our idea. We fly people out. No, and like it's strangers, complete strangers. And oh, you're corn cake 227, right? Yeah. And so you were like it's catfish, but people run up on you and just hand out fades.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it is. Like
I would I need this. I need this show like yesterday.
but see, that's the thing. Like, you know,
Or we give them boxing gloves and we say, yeah. So it's like we're like pulling out boxing gloves. We put them on both people. It's like, so we saw on social media that you were talking a lot. You were
yeah,
talking mad shit to this person. So we bought y'all boxing gloves. Here's a ring. Duke it out.
get out. Yeah, the problem is it's gonna be Mike Tyson or some little skinny, scrawny kid. Yeah, so the kid gets murdered.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean,
Dang.
yeah, but I mean,
But also, tell me you wouldn't watch that.
oh, that's something I would watch and laugh. Yeah,
Like,
come up and see. Yeah, I probably laugh. Yeah.
especially because it's gonna be someone like you versus me.
But that's the problem though. Like because we know
I
we
I
know
want to watch that though.
people that talk trash online. That's it's gonna be. That's gonna be the episode every week.
Kenny, how tall are you?
About 6 foot.
I'm 5'5". Like, I want to see that.
It's gonna be some. Yeah, but that's the problem. You know, the people who talk trash is gonna be a lot of professional athletes, a lot of famous people. So imagine you get some ex football player that somebody was running their mouth about. He like, nah, like it's gonna be like the James Harrison commercial where you had to tackle somebody. You gonna run up in your house and you're gonna be like, what? It's gonna be James Harrison right there to punish you. Like because some stuff you said online. That's what is every week. It's gonna be that. That's what it's gonna be every
Yo, it's called Catch These Hands Fish.
man. Like every week. People good that yeah. That's what y'all like.
Oh man,
It's
I
fun.
want to do this. I want to do this so badly.
But you know, I think not outside of people catching fades. I promise you, the amount of like internet chatter and all that trash talk would begin to decrease. If
Right.
people knew that they could catch it, we wouldn't hear it. It's
They
like this,
wouldn't throw it out.
yeah, just like that was. All the kids in school, all the kids. What you say? Nothing. Yeah, I thought so. Thought so. Now that I'm right here in front of you, yeah, I thought so. It'd be all that. So, man, we got fun with that one. I don't know.
And we're gonna fund this show.
Somebody can make a World Star series out of it. Somebody can make a YouTube series out of it. Just don't get caught. That's
Hey,
the
now.
point. Don't get caught. So with the cell phone, with camera,
Coming soon, Black Squirrel Media Network. Catch this fade. Sundays at 9.
This is hilarious to say. Him, all right, bet. Like, go. Fly out.
And then not only that, we're gonna do live shows. We're gonna pull up to clubs. We're gonna be like, yo, why'd you kick me out? It's like, oh,
see, that's a whole nother issue. The problem is,
hey, man, we got some boxing gloves here.
then you run up on the one brother that got the pistol on him. That's the other problem. Yeah, I said it. And what? Click, click. Oh, okay, never mind. Everybody get back in the van. Everybody, let's go.
Bro, do you remember White Man Can't Jump?
Yeah. Everybody jump out like it's about to be a problem. My man got the hammer on him.
Bro said, "Nah, I'm gonna go to my trunk."
Yeah, I've seen people go to the trunk before. It's a scary situation. We got too many stories. We're about to get up out of here. I mean, one night we was on a college campus somewhere. It was a similar night like this. It had snowed. It had been a little icy outside. We was at a party on campus.
Yeah.
I watched the entire football team jump this one guy. And it looked like a swarm of bees. They beat my man around the room. Like I never seen like a swarm of bees. And they beating him around the room. And we watched it. It got tired, so we were like, all right, he's got
I'm sorry for laughing. But also I want to know what was the reason.
I don't even know the reason. I came in when he was already getting beat on. Like, because I remember vividly, my man was in it, and then he stopped beating him and came and dapped me up and went back to beating him. Like, so my man he caught the fade. And so I remember afterwards, because we got tired of watching. That's how bad he was getting beat. We're like, all right, y'all, let's go back. Like, oh, we got to roll. And his boys watched him get beaten, and they helped him to his trunk. And all we heard was, I'm about to go to the trunk. So as black people, when you hear about to go to the trunk, ears perk up like, you know what?
This ain't worth it.
Wrap it up, y'all. It's time to go. Because we don't know. It could possibly happen.
Mm-hmm.
We don't sleep on stuff like that, you know? So
that's another thing that we need to add to that list that black people take it seriously.
Seriously, when other black people start running and somebody say they're going to the trunk.
Yep.
So we already knew, hey, let's start heading up out of here because we already know if not, it's gonna be some more drama. And by the time we get up out the building, we walk in,
Yep. And I'm not trying to be a witness.
Man, we took off running. I remember that night was bad because I remember one girl slipped on the ice face first. Had to go to the hospital. Like, because it was icy outside. The sidewalks were icy.
Right.
One man started litting off. We try to take off. It's icy. So it was like, no, stuff like that. I was like, Yeah, that's a whole other podcast.
I'm gonna crawl out that place.
Yeah, I ain't never seen
if I have to.
Slipping and sliding. And I remember we had to take a turn. So we run it, you had to catch a turn and go back down the sidewalk. And I remember I saw the girl, she didn't catch a turn, she just slid, she just kept sliding past us. It wasn't funny at the time, because like literally we see her slide past, we see a trail of blood. So at first we thought she got shot.
Oh, dang.
Like, we're trying to get her, it's still shots going off. Like, I don't know how many clips my man had. He had lit off like several clips because he was just going for it. So like that night was rough. Yeah, man, that night was rough. Luckily she was okay. She was okay. She didn't get shot. She just slipped and fell on the ice. Still, man, like
it's a scary situation.
Yeah, that's what I said. We gonna have that conversation. Times you gotta know to get up out of there. All
I
right,
can't wait.
we running long enough, y'all. We better get up out of here, y'all. I've already said my piece. We done. Till next week, y'all. Peace.
Peace.